Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I am your host, Eric Smith, and today I am talking about Witches Unleashed, a prose novel by Carrie Harris. This is from Aconyte and Marvel. This is one of the Marvel Untold books, and this does say Ghost Rider in Witches Unleashed, but, it's really the witches story. All right, we're going to see how this goes. I was almost finished recording this review when I got a phone call, and I had to answer the phone. And since I can't edit this, I suppose I can pause. I don't know. I've never tried that. But either way, this is the second time I'm recording this, which always throws me off because I think I've already said something, because I did once before, so I forget to say it the second time. We'll see how this goes. Bear with me. Anyway, Witches Unleashed by Carrie Harris. So, what we have here is Lucifer has escaped from hell. His essence essentially has been shattered into 666 fragments, and they are scattered across the earth. Ghost Rider is hunting them down. He's hunted down. Does the back tell me how many? It's something like 658 or 59. I feel like it's 659 because I think he says he has 7 left. So for the next fragment, he needs the help of the 3 witches, who are Jennifer Kale, Topaz, and Satana Hellstrom. And they're gonna all team up and try to take down this shard of Lucifer's soul. So, the book starts with Johnny Blaze. He's just taken down one soul shard. He's got a little blood on him, which causes some problems with people that see him. And then he's going after the next one, takes that one down. And then we meet the witches. We're introduced to the 3 witches. And for those who care, Jennifer Kale is essentially from the pages of Man-Thing. Topaz, I believe, originated in Werewolf by Night. Don't take my word for it. And then Satana from the pages of some Marvel horror comic. Where she started, and she's the sister of Damon Hellstrom, the son of Satan. She's half human, half demon. And there's a story where Doctor Strange has gotten the 3 of them together to help take down this great mystical horror supernatural threat, and they decided to stay together as a coven. And they are in Salem, some southern state. I can't remember which state they're in, but they're in a city called Salem and living their lives. Johnny Blaze shows up and is like, hey, I got to find this shard of Satan. I need your help. And they eventually agree to help him because, as it turns out, Jennifer Kale is from this long line of witches, and they have to take care of this book called The Tome of Zered-Na. There is a demon trapped inside of it, and only a Kale can deal with this demon. And it turns out that Lucifer, this shard of Lucifer, is inside a Kale. And so if he gets the book, he can release this demon. It's all a bunch of horrible stuff. So the 3 witches agree to help Johnny, and they go on this mission. So, first of all, I may be a little biased because I'm a huge fan of Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze, the original. Don't get me started on who's actually the original, but when we're introduced to the character Ghost Rider, he's the first. Johnny Blaze, he's the one. And then I'm a fan of Man-Thing and Werewolf by Night, Moon Knight, which I believe also has run-ins with Topaz. But Satana, love Satana, the whole son of Satan, daughter of Satan horror comics. Love them. So, again, I may be a little biased. This is, it's well written. I've never read anything by Carrie Harris before, but she does a fine job with the characterization. We don't get Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider origin story, but I don't think we need it. We don't need everybody's origin. All we need to know is here. He's Johnny Blaze. He shares his body with Zarathos, or however you pronounce it, the demon of vengeance. And he won't hurt innocents. He's, in this particular case, at this time, hunting down these 666 shards of Lucifer. But normally he's running around getting vengeance, taking down evildoers with his penance stare and his flaming skull. Ignore the Nick Cage Ghost Rider movies. Forget all about those if you've seen them. So yeah, great characterization. Except my only real negative thing to say is, well, first of all, the chapters, the POV changes from chapter to chapter between the four main characters. It's always in third person. You know, it doesn't change to first person at any point. But, you know, this chapter, we're following Johnny Blaze. The next chapter, it's Topaz. Next chapter, etc. You know. So my only negative thing is there's a touch of repetitiveness in the characters' POVs, in that, let's take Jennifer Kale. We're following her in this chapter, and she, there's a lot about her self-doubt. Then we move on to other characters. When we get back to Jennifer Kale, there's still just so much about her self-doubt. And then we move on to other characters. We get back to Jennifer Kale, and we're still dealing with her self-doubt. Which, I'm not expecting her self-doubt to suddenly disappear after one chapter about it. I don't know, for some reason it just felt to me like it was hitting that kind of thing a little too often. Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying? And it kind of, each character, maybe mainly Jennifer Kale and Topaz, I don't feel like that there was so much of it with Johnny Blaze or Satana. Just, I think, felt more with Jennifer Kale and Topaz. But again, this is just a little thing, and maybe it's just me. It just felt, and again, I don't expect that people are going to just suddenly no longer have self-doubt or no longer think this because they already had the thought. I know how things can get stuck in your head. It just felt a little too repetitive. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. But other than that, I like the pace of the story. I like the characterization, as I said, of the witches and Johnny Blaze. I like that mistakes are made. I like that everybody actually gets this. Everybody gets the spotlight. I like the last. I don't know if it's the last quarter of the book. The big finale is great. See, there's something I want to say about it, but I can't because it's kind of spoilerish. There was something at the end that I was afraid was going to be problematic, but it turned out to actually be really cool. As always, if you don't care about spoilers, we can talk about it down in the comments. We're going to post spoiler warnings like crazy, but yeah, I like that when I think there's a problem and the author's able to say, no, you dummy, I know what I'm doing. So there you have that. But, yeah, so Witches Unleashed, Carrie Harris, the latest Marvel Untold novel, and I gave it 4 out of 5 on Goodreads. I really enjoyed it. Again, I might be a little biased. I like a well-written comic book novel, and I love the horror characters from Marvel. I would be more than happy to read another Witches novel. I have, well, as I said, Jennifer Kale is from Man-Thing. I have all the volumes of the complete Man-Thing. Topaz, I believe, is from Werewolf by Night. I have the complete collection of Werewolf by Night. I also have the first Moon Knight Omnibus. I have the second one on order. Satana. I have a ton of horror stuff. I've got Son of Satan complete collection. I've got 2 Marvel Horror Omnibuses or Omnibuy. I don't have the book that actually, the trade paperback that actually has all 3 of them. That story where Doctor Strange brings them together. But I do have it on my Amazon wish list. I will pick it up at some point. Anyway, I'll also mention one of the nice things about these Aconyte books is they have a little checklist in the back. If you can see that. I don't know how well that shows up. In this case, it's just for the Marvel stuff. And there's a little check mark by the book that you're holding in your hands, but you can look and see what there is, what's coming out. And then before that, they show you all sorts of covers and stuff of their different books. Again, in this case, just the Marvel books. But it's nice to have that checklist. I know that I already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the Marvel books from Aconyte. I don't have any of the Legends of Asgard books, but I do want to get some. I don't have any of the Xavier's Institute. That's the least likely that I'm going to get, because I'm just not a huge mutant fan. But, I mean, it looks like some good authors and stuff, so I may pick those up as well. Just have a complete collection, and I'm not turning my nose up at mutants. Just not a huge fan. Anyway, that's rambling, so that means it's time to go. Witches Unleashed by Carrie Harris. 4 out of 5 stars. If you want a good horror, sort of urban fantasy feel novel, you can't go wrong with this. If you're a fan of these comic book characters, absolutely can't go wrong with this. I recommend it. I liked it. Again, I wouldn't mind seeing more from Carrie Harris writing in this universe. She does have one of the X-Men books. Xavier Institute, excuse me. As a matter of fact, the very first one. But anyway, that's it. Witches Unleashed. I don't have a question for you in this video. I'm not going to force myself to come up with questions. If I have one that comes out, then you'll get it. If not, you won't. But if you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put them in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post spoiler warning. We try to be polite here at the Low Budget Review Show. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you'd care to follow me on other social media, my Twitter is @Ronin5757. My Instagram, where I post pictures of books, comic books, board games, and fuzzy animals, is EricSmith5757. That's Eric with a K, ERIKSMITH 5757. That's all I've got for you this time. This has been the Low Budget Review Show. I have been Eric Smith, and until next time, read more books.